It is game 2 of a 2-game set between the first place New York Yankees and the last place Boston Red Sox. The Yankees were flashing the leather behind Nestor Cortes Jr., but would the offense do its part? My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Yankees Game Night. It's what you want. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're doing well. That is 4 wins in a row, and that is 8 wins in their last 10 games for the Yanks. A lot of positives. A lot of positives. But first, I find myself genuinely surprised by the lineup each and every night. 4th straight game that the consensus top 3 prospect, Oswald Peraza, sat the bench. And this is after playing really well over his previous 4 games. That can't be the best thing for his development. But to be fair, IKF has been good on both sides of the ball in September. I get it. Made a couple of nice defensive plays tonight. Also, did not expect to see Aaron Hicks back in the lineup before the division was wrapped up. Maybe not ever again after his debacle last week. But tonight he was back out there in left field. Also, the Yankees keep winning. And you're starting to hear the words magic number thrown around. The magic number is the combination of wins by the first place team and losses by the second place team in order to create a mathematical certainty that the first place team wins the division. Coming into this game, it was 14. It is now at 13. Toronto won their game against the Rays. Yankees now have 87 wins on the season. And with 19 games left to go, I know they would love to get 13 of 19 and get to 100 wins, but realistically, 97 or 98 probably gets it done. Good combination of pitching and solid defense tonight and some timely hitting. Thanks a lot to Gleyber Torres. Yankees were definitely flashing the leather early. You just saw the great play by IKF. Deep into the hole, long throw, nice pick by Marwin Gonzalez on the other end. Very efficient first inning for Nestor Cortes, just 6 pitches. And then in the bottom of the second, the Wizard of Oswaldo made an outstanding defensive play, diving catch to take a hit away from Rob Refsnyder. And then IKF ran down a tough pop-up to end the inning. Just a fantastic play by IKF. Gleyber Torres had the first 2 hits of the night. He was hitting laser beams all over the ballpark. The broadcast was making a big deal about how he and the other Yankees hitters are loading up their swings a bit earlier. Makes sense to me. The deeper you get into the season, you have to factor in fatigue, right? You know, you might think that you're starting on time and that you've got everything timed up, but after 140 games, 130 games, whatever it is, combined with spring training, you know, don't be surprised if your body's not responding reflexively like it was earlier in the year. So it makes sense to get guys started earlier. Seems to be working a little bit. And we've talked about the true measurement of a hitting coach. You know, can you offer a mechanical solution that can turn guys around when they're struggling? And kudos to Dylan Lawson for helping out Gleyber Torres and a few other guys. Nestor Cortes struck out the side in the 4th inning. He broke out one of the funkiest deliveries you'll ever see to get Devers. Made Devers look awful. Things got interesting in the 5th. A lot of people will say that a triple is the most fun play in baseball, but it's also hard to beat the vaunted Little League home run, which, of course, is not actually a home run. Yankees put 2 men on base, and then Gleyber Torres smoked his 3rd hit of the game. line drive single. The throw home was late, and the catcher tried to kind of throw behind him at first base, and instead he administered the all-state mayhem moment, and he chucked the ball down the right field line, allowing all 3 runs, including Gleyber Torres, who runs like molasses, like he's dragging a piano, to come all the way around and score. Tough defense for the Red Sox.
We spend $250 billion a year on defense.
Not technically a home run, but I know you guys want me to play the sound, so let's go.
That ball is high. It is far. It is
not gone. That made it 3-0. Red Sox got to Cortez in the 5th, second start in a row in which he's thrown 4 great innings, struck out the side in the 4th inning, and then had trouble in the 5th inning. Yankees got a run immediately back on an RBI double off the Green Monster by Jose Trevino. Nice piece of hitting by him. Nestor Cortez came out after the bottom of the 6th inning. In the bottom of the 6th inning, he walked a leadoff guy, and that ended his night. They didn't want to push it. He was only at 65 pitches, but he threw a lot of strikes, and I can't see it anymore. Nice job by Nestor Cortez. 65 pitches, 39 of which were fastballs. Working quickly, throwing a lot of strikes, getting a lot of swings and misses, a lot of off-balance swings. Pretty much what we've come to expect from him so far this season. 2.70 ERA on the year. Outstanding job by Nestor Cortez. Clark Schmidt came in with a runner on first and struck out the next 3 hitters. His breaking stuff was phenomenal tonight, especially the slider that they call the whirly. It's kind of a one-plane slider that breaks more horizontally than vertically. Now, the curveball breaks the most vertically. The slider typically has a slight vertical break, but it's more horizontal. But what they're throwing is almost stays on one plane. It's almost like a Frisbee. And it was really snapping off tonight. Bottom 8, Red Sox got a couple of soft hits and an error by Marwin Gonzalez to make it 4-2. And then good sign in the top of the 9th. Giancarlo Stanton pulverized a frozen rope over the center fielder's head, and Gleyber Torres hit one off the center fielder. I don't want to say center field wall. Center fielder ran back to the wall and kind of clanked into the wall and dropped it. Got ruled an error. In my opinion, should have been a hit. He was kind of dogging it around first base. Wish he had been running harder. Would have been a home run in 18 ballparks, but not Fenway. Not Yankee Stadium either, for that matter. But the Yankees got another run. Red Sox got a run off of Clay Holmes in the bottom half, but the Yankees hang on, and they sweep the 2-game set.
ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win. You're a winner.
Darth Wacko says that Gleyber looked really winded after the Little League home run. And look, I got to hand it to Gleyber Torres. He really swung the bat well tonight. I considered going with Nestor Cortez for the belt, but ultimately 3 hits and the Little League home run, Gleyber Torres.
Let's go. Belt winner.
Andrew Thomasone speaking the praises of exit velocity because it creates less action or less reaction time and gives it juice to get out of the ballpark. Yeah, exit velo definitely matters. I think there's definitely a correlation between higher exit velocity and the number of hits that you get. But Gleyber Torres, I've always thought he's better when he's taking his 2-strike approach and he hits those balls that aren't necessarily ropes, but are, just maybe bad ball hits that are off the plate, but he barrels it up somehow and dumps it in for a big hit. Exit velocity is great, but you don't have to have exit velocity every time. One of the biggest hits in Yankees history, Jorge Posada, was a bloop off of Pedro Martinez, just over second base. So, making contact, the ability to put the bat on the ball a lot of times, just as important as exit velocity. Parks and Young says Almonte looked like Hicks. Yikes. Hicks also airmailed a throw tonight. Edward Lee talking about the overturned call. So, yeah, there was a clutch double play that the Yankees got late in the game. J.D. Martinez hit a ground ball was short. They went to second. Easy first out. Went to first, and it looked like he beat it, but on review, he came up short of the first base bag, probably about an inch short. Camera technology is amazing these days, how they can spot so much. It's just incredible. It doesn't miss anything. Alex Valerio says, Torres does not hustle. My biggest gripe with him. Agreed. Gary Wanamaker says, Red Sox in last place. Been a long time since the Yankees were in last place in September. I'm not even going to try this name. Says, Hicks has got to go. There is not one thing that he does well. Terrible defense and horrible at the plate. Disgusting. All right, with that, let's take a look at the box score. Tenth win of the season for Nestor Cortes. As we mentioned, 2.70 ERA. 20th save of the season for Clay Holmes. Wasn't pristine. He gave up a double the opposite way to Almonte, but he also had the sinker work and got a couple of soft ground balls. I saw someone comment before the chat went live that they're unsure about Clay Holmes at closer. And look, there's nobody, not even Mariano Rivera was perfect every time. He was as automatic as it gets, and he still blew Game 7 of the World Series. But I'd take Clay Holmes over pretty much anybody else on the staff when that sinker is working, because he keeps the ball in the ballpark, which is super important in the postseason. The Law of Divine Oneness says, what's gotten into Gleyber Torres? I'll have some of what he's happening. Me too. So, Gleyber was the only guy with multiple hits tonight. Judge was 1 for 4. Stanton was 1 for 5. Stanton struck out 4 times, but ended the night on a good note. As we said, pulverized a line drive to center field. Gleyber Torres with the 3 hits is at 244. I would love if he could hit over 250 this year with over 20-plus home runs. That ends up looking like a decent year. I think he's been adequate at second base. He's definitely not as good at second base as he was before he went to shortstop. But I think he's much, much better at second base than he was at shortstop. But that little detour, I think, cost him a little bit. Donaldson 1 for 5 today. Cabrera 1 for 5. Kiner Falefa 1 for 3. Trevino 1 for 4 with the double. And Hicks took the collar 0 for 4, now hitting 209. You know, Hicks is in real danger of hitting under 200 if you keep giving him at bats, because he is lost on offense. Cortes, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. Easier this time to say it. 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. I have no idea why I couldn't say it. I could read it, but it wasn't translating. It's weird. Schmidt, 2 scoreless innings. Loaizaga, 10 holds on the year now. Did serve up a run. And Clay Holmes also gave up a run, but still, 20th save, 2.47 ERA on the season. Peter says he finds it laughable, the people who want Gleyber out. I actually think there's a solid chance that the Yankees could move him this year, and I think that this resurgence adds to his trade value at the very least. You know, you got Volpe coming up. You got Peraza, who for some reason they're not playing. But these guys both look like they could be in your middle of the infield for a decade. And you still got DJ LeMahieu. He can play second. He can play first. He can play third. You got Oswaldo Cabrera, who can fill in at shortstop, at third base, at second base, and in the outfield. Really, Gleyber Torres is a pretty decent hitter, but, you know, depending on what the Yankees think of Volpe and Peraza, they might end up moving him. Honestly, I would have no problem with them trading Gleyber Torres to replenish the farm a little bit. I know he's a really good player. He's one of the better second basemen in baseball this year, but I still think that the Yankees could improve at that position with one of the younger guys. I think Volpe actually, even though he plays shortstop, if you slide him over to second base, his body type kind of fits better at second base. And Peraza, we saw how slick he was at short. Fifth belt of the year for Gleyber Torres. Frankie, I see your note about the fonts. I appreciate that. I will try that out. Landon says, what happened to IKF and Donaldson rotating time at third base? Peraza needs to play. If not, just send him down. Agreed. Yeah, I would love to see Peraza get in there a bit more. Donaldson did make some nice plays on defense tonight. I'll give him that. He had a couple of hits right after his kid was born. So he brought that dad energy to the ballpark. But I still think that the best infield that you can put together right now offensively is Peraza at short, IKF at third base. And that's also still pretty good defensively. And IKF is hitting over 300 in September. Picked up another hit today. Slashing the ball all over the ballpark. Hitting 270 now on the season. Remember a couple of weeks, this shout out goes to you, Yo Elvis. I said IKF's basically a 270 hitter. And his comment was, bro, IKF doesn't hit 270. What are you smoking? Well, he's at 270 now. So, and he hits really well with runners in scoring position, which is something the Yankees haven't had in a while. I think he's much better at third base. He looked more comfortable over there. The arm plays at third base. I would go with him as your third baseman. And I think next year that could be the way they go. Colin Brown says, been wondering. We feel like Cash should have paid Judge before the season, but what if he is having a career year because he feels snubbed? Extra motivation. It's possible. You never know what's inside a guy's mind. Whatever he's doing, he needs to keep doing it. I really think that he's going to take the biggest contract this winter, whether or not it's from the Yankees. That seems to be the trend in baseball. And the Major League Baseball Players Association kind of looks down on players, especially their star players, not taking the maximum contract because they want every big contract raises the value for that next guy, right? So they don't want Judge to leave $100 million or $50 million on the table, and he won't. I still think that the Mets and Cohen are the wild card because that guy has proven that he'll go above and beyond. It would not shock me if he gave Judge a 10-year, $400 million contract, and then if Judge isn't the same player at 38, just DFA him. He figures he'll make enough in memorabilia and ticket sales. And I mean, imagine what signing Judge would do for any team's ticket sales. The Yankees just don't appreciate what they have in this man. They should have paid him by now. Darth Wacko says, pay Judge whatever he wants.
Pay that man his money.
Raleigh, in agreement with me, says, actually, he wants to go with Oswaldo at shortstop. I don't know if he means Oswald Peraza. It's easy to get those two mixed up, but I think Peraza at shortstop instead of Oswaldo would work. Volpe at second, and then Oswaldo Cabrera. I just love what he's given to you in the outfield and as a utility player. I don't know if he's going to hit. The swing looks good to me. He's not, doing a ton of damage. It may come. He's got a small strike zone. He's a short guy. I still think that he's going to hit, but we know that Peraza and Volpe can hit. We know that. Sneet with the Super Dono that says Tump. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Truth Always says Yankees need to sign Judge yesterday.
Pay that man his money.
Yankees Morning Brew. I'm going to be appearing on Yankees Morning Brew on Tuesday. Says great win overall. Orlando says Judge is going to need help carrying that huge check. Yeah, maybe Steinbrenner can give it to him on one of those big cardboard checks like he gave for the donation the other day. Or like Happy Gilmore used to receive after every tournament. Hey-o. All right, let's see here. Tactical Tony says Judge has what it takes to be the captain this generation. Wholeheartedly agree.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Dr. Hitskins thinks Oswaldo looks overmatched. I wouldn't say overmatched. I think he's having competitive at-bats. There's a couple of things that I've seen with Oswaldo. He doesn't have great ability to lay off with a high fastball at the top of the zone. He can't really get to it. He's a low ball hitter, you can tell. But also, if you throw him anything that's diving towards his back foot from either side of the plate, he's going to swing at it and take a hack. And he hasn't, proven yet that he can really do much with it. Landon, though, says Cabrera looks natural in the outfield. You're not wrong. He looks great out there. Let's see here. Bob Tremblay, just with the Super Dono. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. You can leave a chat and I would read it. Frankie says Rounders is a great movie. Yeah, let's talk about movies here. We've gone through this sweep. We got an off day tomorrow. Let's kill up some time. Yeah, Rounders, fantastic poker movie. I used to work for a poker company. And I was at tournaments all the time. And everybody there, that movie was like their religion. And I remember the greatest compliment I ever got. I was playing in a game back in 2009. And my buddy Rob came out. And he's not a baseball fan. Don't think he'd ever been to a baseball game. But we were playing at a minor league park that's about a mile from his house. So I invited him out. I said, hey, it's going to be fun. Cool ballpark. He comes out. And not only did I come 1 out away from throwing a perfect game, but I hit the ball off the wall twice. And then after the game, he said, "You're the baseball version of Matt Damon in Rounders." And I guess for that league, for that day anyway, it felt like an extraordinary compliment. And still to this day, whenever I think of Rounders, I think of that compliment. Twig says, "R.I.P. to the judges' chambers." Ooh, I hope not.
Just a bit outside.
Other great poker movies. Mississippi Grind, not really a poker movie, but it's kind of like a gambling movie. Fantastic. And I recently watched The Sting, which is a fantastic movie from the 70s. One of the better card playing, but it's also kind of like it's like a con man kind of a, I don't know the best way to describe it. It's just a really good flick. Back then, the movies used to be written so well. Landon says, imagine Rizzo and DJ back. Rizzo is hopefully going to be back. He thinks he could be back against Milwaukee. Yankees seem to think it might be Pittsburgh. DJ, I'm not sure we're going to see him back. The last interview I heard from him, he was questioning whether or not he could play at 100% and whether or not it was even worth it to try. Ziana Stunner says, 007 Casino Royale, that counts as a poker movie, 100%. Judge says the price is wrong. Appreciate it. Raleigh says, can't believe they haven't played Cabrera in left. I'm right there with you. I want to see how it translates. I want to see how he does out there. Let's see here. Couple of more. Truth Always says, James Caan, Gambler, is a classic. Can't say that I've seen it, but James Caan was one of the best. I'm going to miss him. He recently departed. Gabrielle Kafalas, sorry if I butchered that, says Bader had a home run in Somerset. Let's hear it for Bader.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
Jay Val says, when is Bader coming back? It won't be too long. He played the outfield. He's going to play the outfield again. They want him to do it a couple of days in a row, and then they'll give him a day off, and then he'll probably be back. I think we'll see him probably next week. That'll be fantastic. Elvie is going to help Hicks pack tomorrow. Let me know if you need a hand. Twig also liked Casino Royale. I tell you what, I didn't really care for the latest James Bond movie. No spoilers, but I just thought the ending it wasn't right. It wasn't a good treatment. But Greg Hughes with the line of the night. Lord Bader. I love it. All right, guys, let's watch the highlights one more time. That's what we've been doing lately. Lord Bader. I'm definitely going to use that. I heard, what was it? Wandy Peralta, the magic wand. I love that one. This was the great play by IKF in the hole. You see the throw, the perfect one hopper to first base. Nice pick over there at first base by Gonzalez. This is the bloop and Oswaldo with the slide on one knee. Hope his knee is okay. This is the funkiest windup you'll ever see, getting Devers here for strike 3. Hicks hitting one hard to second, and see what happened was, and then Judge hitting one that gets knocked down and safe. Couldn't get him. Gleyber Torres takes 96 inside outs it to right field. Going to skip the throw home for copyright reasons. Throw down the line. Runners come around. Even Gleyber Torres, and he's in there, breathing heavy, but he scores. That gave the Yankees a 3-0 lead. Later on, hitting one to center field. And doink! This one drops in there. Really nice job by the Yankees tonight. One more time. Peter says Judge might get 9 and 350 305 from us. Maybe I am dyslexic. Jay Val says, Hicks can't hit for nothing. My favorite all-time call-in. Appreciate it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Actually, I won't because the Yankees are off tomorrow. I'll see you on Friday. Good sweep for the Yanks. Catch you next time.